So to another Fox News alert, brand new body cam footage from the Trump assassination attempt showing an officer's brief encounter with the shooter. Shanley Painter has the story. Hey, Shanley.
Good morning, Lawrence. So this new body cam is a shocking look at the chaos, confusion, and disorganized nature of the security response among and between local police and Secret Service agents just before and after a gunman opened fire at the Trump rally in Butler last month, including this Butler Township officer who had a chance to stop the whole thing, spotting the gunman on the roof about 30 seconds before the shooting. You can see him here being hoisted up some 12 feet to the roof of the AGR building by a fellow officer before quickly dropping back down to the ground. Seconds later, shots rang out when 20-year-old Thomas Crooks opened fire, striking Trump and two other rally-goers and killing another. This officer later on body cam is heard saying he saw the armed man up there on the rooftop with an AR rifle laying next to a backpack. And in the aftermath, other videos show officers desperately racing towards that building, trying to access the roof and make not the gunman, and they make out that the gunman could have used a wood pile leaning onto the building. That's maybe how he accessed the roof. And in this video, officers can be heard clearly confused as to why that roof was unmanned in the first place. Here, a Butler Township police officer telling a Secret Service agent he believed they were supposed to be protecting the roof of the AGR building. Listen to this.
I don't want to spread. No. Is he a shooter? Did he have a weapon? Is he?
That was the report.
I thought you were on the roof. I thought it was you.
What?
I thought you guys were on the roof.
No, we're not.
Why were we not on the roof?
Because there's football from us. You need to go somewhere over in the west coast.
Why weren't we? I'd say this is a up.
Sorry, not sure which gas company.
Somebody up.
And even further, more video shows one local officer livid as he keeps repeating on video that he told the Secret Service to secure that building days before, but they didn't listen to him, Lawrence. It's unbelievable.
I think when the officer said that it was an F-up, I think that's the officer that got it right. Shanley, thanks so much. Let's bring in Tim Clemente, former FBI special agent who's living in Montana, and he's going to the Trump rally tonight. So when you have local officers saying, look, we told the Secret Service to get on top of the roof, and then you got Secret Service days after the shooting blaming the locals, what do you make of all of this nonsense?
Well, you know, Lawrence, if the local police were responsible for the security of this protectee, you might be able to point the finger at them, but they weren't. The responsibility lies completely and totally with the Secret Service. The shift leader is responsible for the immediate personnel right around the protectee, in this case, Donald Trump. And then there's other layers and perimeter layers that are built in by the Secret Service that involve local, state, and other federal authorities. And they are responsible. They're the ultimate arbiter of what is to be secured and how it should be secured. There was no communication, obviously, between the Secret Service and these officers, and there was no communication on that day. When the officers and the bystanders saw things, and that never got to Trump's detail, never got to the counter sniper teams. It was just, I think an F-up is the minimum you can call this.
Tim, I'm still puzzled by all of that. I mean, this is clearly malpractice, what's going on. Gross incompetence. Where was the command station? Where was the post where they could have comms going back and forth? You have no comms with the locals that are on the outside. Someone was supposed to be on the roof, and they decided, according to some reports, to not show up that day. You got Secret Service agents and other counter snipers that are confused if it was their guy that was on the top of the roof, and they're saying, look, we were actually inside of the building, not on top of the building. There was no communication at all, Tim.
It's incomprehensible. You know, let's go back a couple of decades to 9/11. There was a tragedy in New York because the fire department and the police department were not communicating on that day in New York at the World Trade Center. And so the police department helicopter sees the buildings are coming down, warns other law enforcement, doesn't warn the fire department. That lack of communication led to a lot of changes in incident command. And incident command is what is used by the federal government, local state authorities in almost any type of incident to make sure that communication is the paramount thing, because it's the first thing that falls through in any operation. Yeah. And in this case, you know, I could see this maybe happening in the 1950s or 60s, but not today. It's completely unacceptable.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. And you speak of 9/11. Part of what took place then is creating Homeland Security. So agencies could start talking to each other. Secret Service is on a homeland, and they weren't able to get this right. I hope to gets us some type of answers through Congress. Tim, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.